Justice Omotosho did a very thorough job. I have gone through the judgment. I read it. That judgment is airtight.
They are legal consultants to the convicts. They were lawyers to the convict before he converted them to consultants.
Yes, my lord.
What is your name?
My name is Dr. Maxwell Opara.
Yes, the next person.
Alongside is my name, Lord.
Thank you.
P-A-N-A-J-O-4.
Yes.
Prince Mandela.
Thank you. I just want it to be a record that it has a representative in court that will go and tell him, please, you may sit down.
Sorry, my lord. My lord, I don't have his brief to represent him here.
It's okay, you may sit down.
Azoko, please.
My Lord, shame, we don't have his brief.
Why are you here?
We are here as consultants, my Lord.
I'm coming. This morning, when we started, you acted as consultant. You went to him, tell him to inform the court. I have the video here. You moved from that place, you went to the convicts. You told him what to say. And I have to say this.
I have to take your direct instructions and directives.
But you are the consultant, are you not?
I am.
Thank you.
But we don't have his brief.
It's okay.
In the real sense of it.
So it's okay. I'm just telling you so that you go and send him tell him this sentence. And I must say this. It is becoming getting to a level that I have to say this. We must act professionally. It is unheard that a defendant will, even in the open, slap his counsel to keep quiet while he's talking. The counsel must not talk. This counsel was disengaged, and some of them were converted to consultants, and they come to court to act as consultants, and they are lawyers. And Ejimako acted as consultant this morning, and telling the court now that he does not have his brief. I'm not calling you as a lawyer. You have been converted to consultant that you ought to be, you ought to be. Please, I'm just telling you, get the sentence to him. That is an order from this court.
Very well, my Lord.
You are already here. Your name is on the list as consultants. As consultants all along. While he disengaged you, most of you have been coming as consultants. And I have it on record. It's not that the defendant has no legal access. He has access to legal experts. Please, you may sit down. Thank you.
My Lord, we are just concerned that we are not being put in some kind of legal jeopardy.
You may sit down, please.
Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you.
Right, everyone, welcome to Pulse Media, where we bring to you insightful matters within and outside the country. The issue of Kanu sentencing has continued to generate a lot of conversation within and outside the media space, in the social media, and also in the conventional media. Now, a lot of lawyers have been hearing the opinion on the matter, and while some are in support of his sentencing, others are not in support of his sentencing. People have been saying that Kanu, though committed some form of offense, but of course he shouldn't be given such kind of sentencing, considering the fact that we have the bandits and other people, other Boko Haram elements that have been causing havoc since 1999 in Nigeria, probably 2010 to be precise. Now, we have this particular lawyer, she's of Igbo descent, and then she made a particular shocking statement. I wouldn't want you to be bothered about the statement, but of course, I wouldn't want to make the statement myself. But I will want you to listen to the statement, and I'll come back with my take.
Justice Omotosho did a very thorough job. I have gone through the judgment. I read it. That judgment is airtight. Justice Omotosho did a very thorough job. Now, let us even look at it. He had his lawyers along the line His choice of lawyers were even very okay. Kanu Agabi SAN. I love that man to stupor. Onyechi Bazu. Good, brilliant, one of the best lawyers in Nigeria. He had them. Along the line, he debriefed them that he want to do his case himself. They gave him time to do his case himself. He started dribbling everybody. Okay, look at his attitude in court. How do you even start to beg for such a person? I was just asking. How do you if you even want to beg for such a person, how? Get a hold on your emotions. Because the international community is watching. Now they want to beg for you. How did they start? You that insult a judge, call the judge by the name and tell him doesn't know anything. You that push people, don't touch me. You are pushing. Why the drag to what end? And nobody's looking at that. Nobody's looking at that. He had his chances. Okay, defend yourself. Yes, anybody can defend. Anybody can represent themselves in court. Defend yourself. Time was running out. Defend yourself. Nothing. Let me tell you, when you rest your case on that of the prosecution, when you say, look, I have no case to answer, or I rest my case, it's suicidal. You are not giving the court the right to judge you by your opponent's testimony against you. That is what he did. Okay, my opponent has finished talking, Abi. I don't have anything to answer him. You refuse to put a defense. No matter what the defense is, put up a defense. You did not put up a defense. You did not put up a defense. And you want the judge to give you what you don't ask for. You want the judge to perform magic. How? By the time you rest your case on that of the prosecution, it is a suicidal. Immediately he did that, and it was suicidal. What were people expecting? That they would not free him? He couldn't even defend himself. Come and say, okay, at least leave your legal, even though you know all the law. When it comes to representing yourself, you will lose it. I am a lawyer, a proud lawyer. But there are some cases that are personal. I will have to brief my colleague to come and represent me. Because if I represent myself, I will lose, I will make mistake. Dr. Adagwonweya, even if you are a born lawyer, Dr. Adagwonweya, when she come to show, you call a lawyer, you brief a lawyer to please come and, you know the law, but when it comes to that representing yourself, you must miss it. You'll be emotional. You had a very beautiful legal team. Kanu Agabi SAN. I know the joke with that man. You debriefed him. That guy, shit. How do you start to beg? How do you even start to defend such a person? Erratic, anger, everything. Everybody watched it. Yet people are saying it's injustice. How? How is it injustice? Those who lost their life on IPOB and all this demand, what happened? And people were not listening to his radio communication. People were not listening to everything he was saying. People were not listening to, what about the military guys, the military couple that were killed in Olu? The video was there. The woman was beheaded. Her vagina was cut off. When I not see the video, how do you see white and call it black? How is it injustice? Who will give those ones justice? Whose command were they carrying out? Igbos in military, waste them, kill them. Whose command were they carrying out? Whose command were they carrying out? You incite people into war. You incite people into fighting themselves and say it's not your fault because you are not the one in the forefront that did it. As long as you are an influence that incited these people, my dear, you are going down with them. So at what point did they do injustice? Let me understand. You are calling it injustice. What is injustice? He was given a right to represent himself. He was given a right to counsel. He was given I was even shocked that Justice Omotosho gave his people right for Allocutus. I called one or two of my friends. I was following up yesterday, but I was too busy. So once I would just call Victor. Alpha, I've definitely delivering the judgment. Okay. What about Allocutus? This one, he doesn't have a lawyer. Who will do Allocutus for him? Allocutus means plea for mercy. I was so happy when Justice Omotosho gave them the microphone and said, since you're a legal consultant and you have been coming to court for him, please, I will not shut him out from Allocutus. Say he's Allocutus or say something about Allocutus. That is plea for mercy. And this Mr. Obi, he used to be my friend. Mr. Obi took the microphone and said talking. I listened to his speech. I listened to his legal counsel's speech. He was given all the rights for fair hearing. Up to Allocutus. He was given all. There was no comma, no mistake. That's why I said that judgment is airtight. It will stand any appeal, even before God and man. That judgment will stand any appeal. And my only fear is that if he stands appeal, I pray they don't give him the maximum punishment. Maximum punishment is death. Death sentence immediately. So now, I'm even surprised that the judge was mindful enough to reduce it to just life imprisonment. At least life imprisonment didn't do at least being alive and serving life imprisonment there is hope that one day something will happen. But what about death sentence? He did not even pronounce the maximum that was required by law. He gave him life, which is fair. But you people don't understand. That's why you are emotional. What if it was death sentence? What are you going to talk? The death sentence they give him before Friday, they don't buy him. What are you going to talk? Like, what are the reason? Yes, the court of first instance have given his judgment. That doesn't mean that his right to appeal has been closed or foreclosed. No, he has a right to appeal his judgment. He has a right to appeal that judgment. Then even when the appeal comes out, the judgment in the court of appeal comes out, he also has a right to the Supreme Court. It is not yet the end. So why the cry? Why all the emotional things? Why the insult on people? Must everybody support IPOB? I'm an Igbo woman, but I'm not IPOB. I'm not in support of them. Now we say justice is everybody's business. What about those who died? What about those who were killed by these IPOB people under his command? What about them? Dora Kunyeli's husband is an example. What about the unknown gunmen? Yes, I agree. He has every right to seek what he wanted. Everybody has a right to agitate for change. Everybody has a right to agitate for change. You guys know me. I'm stubborn when I believe in something. So at a point, I liked this young man. I loved Nnamdi Kanu. At a point, because I could see a young man vibrating, wanting for change, calling for change, just like our late Ojukwu. Everybody loved the movement. Everybody loved the idea. Everybody loved the way it was going. But immediately bloodshed entered. I cut myself off. Immediately they started, the command and everything started. Bloodshed. It became another thing. I said, no, I'm not part of this. Because my duty first, my love first is to humanity. Nobody's life should be cut short because I'm agitating for something I don't even know if I will get. Now, what was the cause of the fight in Rwanda? Most of you don't know history. Most of you don't read. Everybody's saying, did he kill anybody? Did he do this? Did he do that? When you incite violence, when you talk to people in such a way that you ginger them, that's why influencers should be careful. I always tell, especially Facebook influencers, those that have the power to move people. Most people don't reason. Most people don't use their brain. Then there are some of us that have the brain. God has given us brain. We can either use it for good or for evil. Then when you now use that brain that God has given you to incite violence in people, tell them that this person is your enemy, that person is your enemy, the person that wears good clothes is your enemy, the person that does this is your enemy. The person begin to, you have worked on them. They believe in you, they see you as a God. Once people start looking at you, looking up to you, seeing you as a role model, you have to be careful what you say. Because if what you say makes them commit a crime, you are in for it. That is the truth. Now, what is the cause of the war between the Hutu and the Tutsi in Rwanda? I visited Rwanda. I went to the genocide museum. I saw things for myself raw. Most of you don't travel. Most of you don't know history. Right now in Rwanda, there's no tribe. Ask anybody, where are you from? I'm from Rwanda. They don't have, I am from Igbo, or I'm from Yoruba, or I'm from Hausa. I think Nigeria too should imbibe that. Nigeria should copy that thing from Rwanda. Rwandans are not friendly. Like, they are very, very skeptical. They don't trust outsiders. When I visited Rwanda and I saw all of them, they are not open to receiving guests because they don't know if you are coming to destroy them again. That genocide left their mental health scattered. So if you have seen war, you go run from war. What was the cause of Rwandan this thing? Ordinary utterance that was made on a radio station, calling a particular tribe cockroaches. If you don't know about the history, watch this movie sometime in April. Or you watch Hotel Rwanda. Watch it. Our own Stephanie Konedo acted it, a Nigerian lady. She was one of the major characters in that Hotel Rwanda. Then Idris Abba acted sometime in April. Go and watch that movie so you understand how the Rwandan war started. Utterances, just talk, where person talk for radio station. They fought that war for many years. That Rwanda is still trying to revive. In fact, Rwanda has done well after 20-something years. After 20-something years of that fight. No, almost 30 years of that fight. After 20-something years of that fight, or 30, let's just approximately 30 years. They're just trying to recover. And they're doing very well. Nigerian Naira is just few change above their own. Very soon, their money will be above our own. We are here. Rwanda that faced real civil war. Internal civil war. We are here. Ordinary utterance scattered the whole country. Then you are saying that is injustice. What about those that died? What about those that died, that lost their life? That your family member did not die does not mean that the person who incited it does not deserve some punishment, level of punishment. What are people saying? Everybody's just being emotional. What about those that died, those that were their life were cut short, those that were kidnapped? There's a lawyer, there's a Rotarian in Port Harcourt. Up to today, they've not seen his body. Teddy or something they call him. Speedy or Teddy, something like that. What are people saying? Igbos are the ones suffering this thing. Igbos are suffering it. Igbos in Ugwa are suffering Ugwa this thing. Any small thing, the Hausas will start burning their properties. Those in the north. Igbos in the north are suffering. Any small incitement, anything will just incite violence, they will burn Igbos property. Burn Igbos this thing, pursue Igbos, kill Igbos. Igbos will run down to Igbo states. When they run down to Igbo states, their own home, IPOB and September. So Igbos, I began to cry for the Igbo. Where will they stay? Where will they call home? They run to Lagos. Lagos shall say no be Igbo. Get out. Come out every Igbo. This, that. They go to Ugwausa. They threaten them. They come to Igbo. They threaten them. So where do you want Igbos to stay? Nobody's looking at that. Most of you are just head mentality, brainless. You want to follow me? I will follow you now. I thought, fuck you. Block yourself. Do you pay me? You're coming to tell me that you want because I air my opinion. Because I said my own part of what I feel. You see that judgment? It is airtight. There's no judgment that cannot face appeal. But the truth is that that judgment will stand any appeal, even any appeal before God. That judgment will stand. I have the job. I will send it on. I will paste that.
Now, looking at that particular comment, the woman gave a breakdown of the judgment of Justice Omotosho. As we all know, Justice Omotosho is one of the judges at the Federal High Court there in Abuja. We know the drama that this matter between Kanu and the federal government, the noise it generated, especially for the fact that the man has been in incarceration for the past 4 years now, and he is beginning to kind of have a kind of political undertone. Yes, of course, a lot of people have been saying that this man needs the political solution is what is needed to save the entire situation. Now we have this lawyer coming out to say that the judgment is very, very sound, and that if that the judgment can also stand the test of time and can even stand appeal court verdict. And the most important thing he said is that if this matter goes ahead to the appeal court, it could lead to Kanu's death sentence. Let us not forget that at the time the judge actually said that terrorism crime entails death sentence or death sentencing. But of course, because of he quoted the Bible and said that aside that, the international norms and practices frown at death sentences, that he would rather do something else, and then he committed him to life imprisonment. Now, looking at all what this woman has just said, she has really said that that looking at that judgment critically, the Kanu was actually guilty, and that most in area that has to do especially with the way and manner he approached and carried himself in the court. At the time, he was insulting the judge, just as that woman said. We all watch it. He was even calling him names, and then was even saying God will punish the prosecutor counsel to the federal government, the prosecution counsel. So at this moment now, if looking at what this woman said, that if Kanu proceed to court, to the appeal court, judging by the fact that he shows no form of remorse or some form of backing down in the way and manner he does his things. And do you think he needs to approach the appeal court? And if you are, and then don't you think this woman is right? Of course, if you are saying the woman is not right, what are your reasons? Consider the fact that Kanu, the matter is a very, very critical one, and a lot of people have been suggesting political solution. We have few hours before now, political actors from the southeast, the Abia State Governor, Alex Otti, said he knows how to convince the president for a political solution. But of course, at the moment, a lot of Southeasterners are not talking about political, well-to-do Southeasterners are not talking about anything. They remain silent. I think apart from Obi Kubana, yes, the other Kubana chief priest was so angry with the judgment, saying that the president will not get up to 10k votes in the southeast. Then the other Kubana was saying that Kanu don't deserve to be in the state he is now. And also we have Peter Obi saying that it doesn't even make sense for Kanu to be in prison for that offense in the first place. Now, I want to know your opinion. Do you agree totally with this woman in all fairness? Because this time around, we need to talk about fairness. We just don't need emotion this time around. Because the simple thing that should come to one's mind is that now, if the judge said and the prosecution counsel said that, okay, Kanu is guilty of this offense, he couldn't defend himself properly simply because he deprived his lawyer. We had Kanu Agabi. I think Kanu Agabi was the former Attorney General of the Federation, maybe under, I think maybe Lord Jonathan or thereabout, the senior lawyer, and I'm sure he's an Igbo man. He debriefed him. These are people that will have really ensured that he got a fair deal. Now, apart from that, he was given a fair hearing, and then he was even when he didn't have the lawyer, the what is called Allocutus or thereabout, the legal term or legal jargon, he was allowed to plead for mercy, which I think an honorable member did. So I don't know where else we can talk of injustices here, but of course we need to look at the issue properly. What usually comes up in the minds of so many is because what Kanu did in the east is being done in the north, worse than that, and he's not receiving much attention compared to that of Kanu. Of course, if you look at the two scenarios, we look at instances where the northern governors give amnesties to these bandits that have killed innocent people, raped people's wives, have done all manner of atrocities worse than that of Kanu. Maybe that is the argument people, especially people of southeastern origin, are looking at it, that look, if bandits can commit much more of such atrocity and they are let loose, why should Kanu not be freed? So hit me up in the comment section, let me know what you think. I see you in another video.